This is the long stretch, what I was talking about before, the long straight line, and this is definitely no mooring up here, because all the towpath now has been made into an out and out cycle path, and where you see the green, that's actually stone, so you can't put your pegs in. So no mooring in this area. Perhaps that's a good thing though.
We don't normally moor in town centres, do we?
No, we don't normally moor in town centres, no, definitely
if we can
not.
help it.
Particularly the really busy ones, you know, when you're getting into the big towns.
It's like an outside gym, this, isn't it?
It is, yeah. When you watch what's going on, it's only early now, and we've seen so many bikes and walkers.
It's brilliant though, that, isn't it? Straight stretch, flat
Yes.
towpath.
Many years ago, when the railway started to come into popularity, this was nearly filled in, and they were going to put a line down here, but they didn't. And to the right, it's hard to see with all the trees, but just to the right, only a matter of yards, is a railway line, which thankfully they put there and didn't ruin this part. And these days it's part of the very popular Metrolink around Manchester, and that certainly serves a good purpose. It's one of them days today. The rain's coming every minute, every second. We film and then we have to put it all away again. And then I had a little idea, so you can get an idea of how miserable it can get now and then. Pouring down, and he'll stop in a minute as well. Doesn't always sunshine on the boats, you know. Very soon we'll come to the end of Sale and go towards Stretford. Not a great fan of Stretford, to be honest. We won't be hanging about round there. Another coffee will go down well, thank you. They always say when we're cruising, I try to give anybody who's viewing that narrowboat feeling. Well, this is a narrowboat feeling with a difference. Wet, quite cold, but we continue through. We can tell we're getting close to Manchester now. The graffiti will start, no doubt at all. It's got a lot worse, the graffiti, I know, so wonder how bad it is now. Quite deceiving when you look on the maps and you look at Sale and it's just a straight line. You think, oh, we'll be through there shortly. Takes an hour and a half plus. We're certainly getting the city feel now. Manchester just seems to be a city what's getting busier and busier. I know the graffiti is coming more and more. At the moment though, it's not as bad as your approach to Birmingham, but then again we're not in the depths yet.
You're getting some good rainy shots then? Yeah, we are too.
Have a good day.
Yeah, see ya. Bye-bye.
If you put yourself under a time schedule on the Bridgewater, it's definitely not the same thing. We know we've only got a maximum 7 days before we have to make a payment, but you've got to enjoy the canal. You've just got to enjoy it rather than be wondering, oh, I've got to be on and off within 7 days or I'll have to pay something. That's not the way it is. If you want to enjoy it, you just have to pay it, really, if you want to enjoy yourself on the canals. You know, this is one of the rare places you pay, especially on a canal. Peel Holdings, the company that wants a little bit of money off the Canal and River Trust boaters. Mind you, then again, Canal and River Trust have a similar agreement the other way, and if you've just got a Bridgewater licence, you pay them. I think there's Canal and River Trust is £90 for 2 weeks if you've just got a Bridgewater licence. So it swings and roundabouts. Very soon we come to a form of junction. It's called Waters Meeting. You carry on, you know, you go straight on through to Worsley and towards the Leeds and Liverpool, or the turning to the right, that takes you into the centre of Manchester, and we'll show you that when we get to it. In the meantime, we're getting smack in the middle of everything now. Graffiti everywhere. A very rare occurrence. We've actually come across our first boat of the day. We're coming up to Waters meeting now. When you read about it, it sounds a grand junction, a really nice place, but it's not really. But if you go to the right, and we was going to go to the right, you're into central Manchester, but recently it's been flooded. The River Irwell burst its banks. Property's been damaged, boats have been hit by logs, etc. So we thought we'll give that a miss for now and see what happens at a later date. But we're certainly not bothering going that way at the moment. We'll give it a miss for now. If you like your cereals, you'll certainly know the next thing we'll show you. On the left hand side, extremely famous worldwide. Massive building, certainly is. And very soon we will show you what it is, and I think you'll recognise it. We're certainly in the middle of all the industrial things now. Cool. Every few hundred yards you get a completely different smell. For those who didn't guess or notice, the factory we was talking about that do cereals is the world famous Kellogg's factory, and that's the one what we was talking about. So no doubt many people who are watching will have had the cornflakes, crunching up cornflakes or whatever. I know they do loads of things, but we was a bit shocked by how big that was. So it's amazing how many people like cereals for breakfast. It may be industrial and totally different than what we normally go on, but there's certainly a variety of things to see. Now the next thing what we'll come up to, I think it's near some white fencing or something like that further down. On the left you can moor up, and I can guarantee me and Bernadette are not a fan of this, but so many millions of people are. There's the world famous Trafford Centre. It's absolutely huge, and that's where a lot of people go to do some major shopping expeditions in Manchester. It would fill me and Bernadette with dread. So that was the Trafford Centre, and it's not finished yet. Got a little bit further to go, but then we're going to go over what was described as one of the wonders of the waterways worldwide. And it is the only one in the world as well. but we'll talk about that later. We're so pleased that we've come this way. We wanted to continue on the Bridgewater because not many people do actually cruise through, or cruise through nice and slow to see, you know, to talk about things. And we find it a fascinating canal, this. We really do. But it's not shown that much. So this is why we wanted to do this section, because it's got a lot of interesting little bits to talk about, as well as feeling very, very unusual when you're cruising it, because it's certainly different than the areas what we normally cruise, but it is enjoyable in its own way. It certainly is. Oh yeah, it is. Well, I've never seen that. Well, you're going to be very privileged here. There must be a ship coming. This is the Burton swing bridge and it's been opened. Yeah, oh, that's amazing. Never seen it open when we've been coming. Let's see what we can see. Wow, all them years.